You are what you think you are. You become what you think most about. You are what you think. Today, I want to talk about why. Let's go.
Like diamonds, I'm watching how you glow.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy AJ here, coming through your TV screen, your phone screen, your laptop screen, and beyond. How you doing, mate? You are what you think. You think what you are. Don't think too hard now. Okay. When I thought of this thought, is actually something I remembered, to be honest. Someone said this to me once before, but I didn't quite understood what it meant. I didn't even care what it meant at the time, because it wasn't at the time in any way, shape, or form relevant to moi. So I didn't think about it much. Fast forward years later, you are what you think, and you think what you are, is a statement that couldn't be more applicable to me. I've been mustering up certain thoughts in my head for years now. I've thought of myself in certain ways. I've thought of my life as being certain things. I've thought of my accomplishment as certain things, and for years now, when I look back on it, I've actually been what I think I am. Does that make sense to you? I'll rewind that and create some more context, okay? Let's say you get up one day and you decide, accounting is for me. A doctor is for me. A dentist is for me. And then you dwell on the thought long enough till the point where you get around to actually going for it. And then you think about it long enough to the point where you get around to actually being it. And then you get around to the part where you come to the realization that what you thought you were is what you actually are. Don't get this twisted though, because a lot of times what you think you are is not what you are. And what you think you are is very much a delusion as to what you really are. But in the context of accomplishing your goals, in the context of acquiring greatness for yourself, in the context of being the best you could possibly be for you, what you think you are, you will be. So if you don't think you're great, you'll never be great. If you don't think you're the best you can be, you'll never be the best you can be. If you don't think you can accomplish anything in any way, shape, or form, you will never accomplish anything in any way, shape, or form. Dare I say, what you think you are is what you really are. What you think you are is what you'll become. So please, think boldly. Think wide, think big, think great. And no matter how small you come down from that, you're still going to be what you think you are. Back to the previous statement I said, where sometimes it can be a delusion. It can. If you can't act, if you can't sing, if you can't dance, if you're not physically, mentally, emotionally capable of doing something you think yourself as being, you're being delusional. Though everything you put your mind to can be accomplished. Am I contradicting you here? I know. It's gonna make sense. You are what you think you are. Life will put limitations on you. So if you think too big, what you think you are might come off to you as an illusion. But if you put your mind to it, you can still become a version of what you are, or what you think you are. Does that make sense? Now you get it. What you think you are is what you'll become. So if you don't think great for yourself, you'll never be great. If you don't think big, you'll never be big. If you don't have a big idea, you won't accomplish big things. What you think you are is what you'll become. Try to dissect everything I'm saying, because I'm taking you in like 10 different directions at the same time. It's because I want you to multitask. There are contexts to this statement. There are leadways to this statement. There are pathways to this statement. It doesn't mean the same thing straight across the board. What you think you are, when it comes to accomplishing your goal, is what you'll become. Your worst fears in life, what you think, if you think about it long enough, you'll become it. If you don't dare to define what you fear yourself to be, you will become it. You think about it too long, you will become it. If you don't think to be different from what you fear yourself to be, you will become it. If you don't think big to accomplish great things, you'll never do it. Either way, however you want to spin the context of that phrase, do one thing. Put your mind to it. Whatever you do, however you feel, whatever you think, put your mind to it. Apply your intellect and see how far that gets you. Because if you sit there and just think, but don't act, then what you think would be nothing, quite simply, other than a delusion. I'm trying to give you all the different contexts of this one statement in one video, because there's so many angles to take it from, and there's so many ways to think about it, and there's so many ways to apply it. But all of them boils down to one simplified thing. If you don't apply your mind to it, nothing won't happen. So even though you think it, you're just thinking it. Make sense? If you don't do, if you don't act, if you don't embrace, if you don't apply, you're just wastefully thinking. What you think you are, what you think of yourself, what you fear yourself to be, you'll become. Unless you decide to do something about it. But then again, if you don't do anything, you're just thinking. I love the fact that I can sway your chain of thought just by doing this one statement in so many ways. Can I tell you, when I first thought of this statement, I had the same ripple effect going in my mind. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. This is why this video is existing right now. Because there's so many things that can come from you thinking about that thought long enough. What you think you are, you will become. So whatever you aspire to be, whatever you think of yourself to be, whatever your dreams and aspirations, you apply yourself to it, you can become it. Whatever fears you think of yourself, you'll become it. So if you fear the worst for yourself and don't act to defy those fears, you will become it. Whatever you think you are can very much be a delusion. Because whatever you think of yourself can be outside of your physical scope and capabilities. And if you keep thinking that you're something you're not, you're delusional. But if you apply your mind to it, you can become a version of what you think you are. Ooh. There's so many ways for the brain to span across that one phrase. But I want to give you something to think about. And every context that I gave you in this video, I want you to think about. Apply all of them in any way you can. Because what you think you are, what you fear you are, what you actually are, whatever delusions you have yourself to be, if you don't apply, nothing will happen. And you'll just be thinking. But if you do apply, whatever you think yourself to be, you can become. Ah, I love that phrase so much because it can really ripple a chain of thought. With that being said, with that being understood, it's your boy AJ, and I'm signing out.